The second anniversary of Ruby Rose Higdon's father's passing is coming up. And Ruby just says messing him like crazy. I love a reading after all. She's posted a photograph there and just said, "This is my mum Beverly and my dad Clarence, aka Butch," and they've both gone. So I thought we'd try the father, considering we'll give Butch a shout. If he doesn't mind us calling him that. Just for the sake of argument, though, we'll just use the name Clarence just to be official when we invite him to join us to our sitting, which we're going to do now. So with no further ado there, Ruby, we're going to use these mediumship cards here. Each card has a pre-written sentence on it, and then when we shuffle them, Butch will manipulate them. Butch's spirit will manipulate them and then put them in order, and then we can see what message Butch wants to convey with them. I suppose you could say they're conversation cards, aren't they? But I call them a phrase book for the other side to use to communicate with us. They might not say exactly word for word what Butch would want to say. I mean, they might do, but usually we'll have to somehow paraphrase it or work out something in the sense to go by what we feel he might say instead to words of that effect. But with no further ado, we'll just get the cards here, and as we shuffle them, we just simply say, "Spirit of Clarence, I ask for your presence. Commune with us, Clarence, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Clarence, we ask for your presence. Commune with us, Clarence, through these cards and move among us. Spirit of Clarence, we ask for your presence." Have your message for your daughter Ruby Rose Higdon there. Commune with us, Clarence, through these cards and move among us. Blessed be to Clarence and all absent friends. And we cut the deck and just place the top underneath, and then where the deck splits is where Clarence's energy is at its strongest and where he has now joined us. His spirit has now joined us. So we just place the cards neatly to the side here, just by the candle that we've lit in memory of all absent friends. And before we start, I just want to thank you, Clarence, for joining us. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your energy, and I want to thank you for your love, for the message that you brought for Ruby, your daughter there. And I'm just now going to take the first card. I normally deal out 3 cards initially, beginning, middle and end of statement or paragraph or whatever you want to call it there, and then if any more come, any more we feel want to draw more, we do so. Well, let's just see what the first thing Clarence wants to just say. Butch, if you don't mind me calling you that, Butch. Everybody seems to you were known as that, so I'll stick with that. I think that sounds nice, doesn't it? Notice there, he's just saying to you there, your dad's just saying that I will always point you in the right direction, Ruby. I want you to be aware of that. I'll always point you in the right direction. I get a sense as though he's been serious about that, like a serious sort of feel to that, as though, not that you've gone off the rails in any way at all, Ruby, but as if he's sort of wanting to remind you that he's still there. In the sense of, you said that they'd both gone, but he's as if he's saying, I haven't gone. Though have I really? I haven't really gone. The body that I used to get around in the three-dimensional world is gone. A bit like the car has clapped out and I've had to get out and walk. It's a bit like that, isn't it? That's the sort of analogy I tend to lock on to. I want to see what the next thing he's trying to say here. Of course, we've got the hand holding the compass there and pointing. You're given a choice of two paths and fork in the road there. Which turning do you take? Either one is a sort of straight on, isn't it? And yet it could be a turning. But he's just saying, I'll be there, pointing you which turning to take, which decision to make. When you make the right decision, remember who it was that helped you. That's what I'm getting from it. I don't know why, that is just what I'm getting from that. I'm going to pull the next card here and we're just going to flip it nice and slowly, not to disturb its energy. And he's just saying to you, your dad's just saying to you there, I want to remind you, as if he's saying, I want to remind you that it's not your fault. I'll always point you in the right direction, but I want to remind you that it's not your fault. I don't know what you're feeling guilty about. Maybe, I suppose it's the old, did I call the ambulance on time, the doctor, or did I get him, whatever, did I get him to the hospital on time, did I call for help or whatever, should have been there when I wasn't, or what, I don't know exactly what the guilt trip is, but he's just saying, I just want to remind you it's not your fault, as if he's told you before. I don't know if you've been to a medium before or something of that nature, and you've had this, maybe you've used these cards yourself, I don't know. But as if he's trying to remind you, as if he's told you before and he will tell you again. I want to pull the next card to see what the third thing, I suppose, the beginning, middle and end bit is of it, if you could call it that, although I do feel as though there might be another one to you, I don't know. Let's just flip the card nice and slowly there, nice and steadily, just to keep it nice and there he's just saying, I have a new understanding. I'll always point you in the right direction. It's not your fault. I have a new understanding. In that order, those are the sentences that he's using, as if he's saying, I just want to remind you that it's not your fault. I'll always show you the rope, show you the right which way to go. But I just want to remind you, it's not your fault. And I've got a new understanding of what this is all about, or what it was all about. As if you're saying, well, I understand what it's all about, what it was all about. I now know what it was all about, as if he's saying that. Not so much I've got a new understanding, but as if he's saying, using that card to sort of convey, and I know what it was all about. And you probably do. That's probably why you're feeling guilty about it. But I'm telling you now, I'm reminding you now, it's not your fault. I don't know whether the word fault being mentioned, if he's admitting guilt himself, or if he's pointing at guilt somewhere else, that it was somebody else's fault. But maybe we could probably try some other method of communication at a later date if we wanted to follow that one up. At this point I do feel as though one more card needs to be drawn. I don't know why, as if it's like the missing link. If you don't if you forgive me sort of terminology there, like a missing link, as if there's just one more thing that needs to be said. I've got a new understanding now, in the sense of now I understand, now I know. Of course, when I was in the physical before, I was a slave to the limits of that, but now I'm in spirit, and I now do know. And he's just using this card here, the card, this just says, now I have no pain. I now know what this is all about. But I want you to know that I now have no pain, like I did before. And as if there is some finger pointing at why the pain was there in the first place. I don't know why I'm sort of getting that. It's rather dark, isn't it? It is. It's rather a sort of a disturbing sort of thing that's going through my mind now. But maybe it should be doing. I don't know. I think, given the strike of the hour has come,
21 hours.
21 hours, 9 o'clock PM here, and there's a storm brewing over here. Butch, as you probably know, and there looks as if there's a bit of a storm going on here as we look at this here. But nevertheless, you've got no more pain and you're free of it now, and that's the main thing, isn't it? And as if I'm sort of getting, he's saying, I'll always point her in the tell her I'll always point her in the right direction for justice or something, or for rectifying it, or whatever, for justice. For the, why? What's that all about? I want to say I don't like this, but it's not about likes or dislikes. It's about conveying a message that Spirit is trying to convey. If Spirit is beckoning to try and assist, or we should really be using the Kanzari cards for this, really, shouldn't we? Maybe we could try that as another method for trying to get. And I feel as though we've got to follow this one up. I'm going to make a note of this one, and I'm going to try and follow it up with a Kanzari reading sometime later on. When, I don't know, but I'll certainly make a note of it in the list and follow it up. For now, though, I think, well, just for now, Butch, I'd like to just say farewell to you, and I'd like to thank you for your message. And unless I get feedback to the contrary, I'll make a note here for you, if that's okay, and that's okay, is it? Tell her I love her. Yes, I'll leave your love with her, Butch, and I want you to know that. And we'll just put the cards together here, and I'm just going to flip them nice and slowly and just put them in a nice neat pile just there. As I'm looking at the screen, I can tell that it's straight as a die, so don't think it's an artistic talent that I've got. It's called a screen. So with that, Butch, it's great to have met you, although it's a privilege really to have passed that message on for you. Until we meet again, love is the law, love is the bond. Merry did we meet, merry do we part, and merry may we meet again. And we just place the rest of the deck on top of Butch's message there, and we lay Butch to rest. Farewell, Butch, until next time. Blessed be to Butch and all absent friends. Farewell, Clarence. The rest is silence.